Okay, today I want to talk about an Autocad command that I think many people might not know about, and that's the SOLIDEDIT command. So if I start up the command, you see I get this menu with different options under face, edge, and body. I'm not going to talk about anything in the edge section since I never use those. I'm just going to talk about the options under face and body that I use the most. Now, I've created several models here, but they all have some kind of issue that I need to fix. So I'm going to start over here with this first model, and I want to reduce the diameter of these bolt holes. They're currently 5/8 diameter. I want to make them 1/2 inch diameter. And I also want to reduce this fillet radius here. So I want to start with the holes. So I'm already in the SOLIDEDIT command. So I'm going to go to face and offset. And then I will click inside each of these holes to select them and hit enter. And for the offset distance, if I type in a positive number, it's going to make the holes smaller. And if I type in a negative number, it's going to make the holes bigger. So I want smaller holes. So I'm going to punch in 0.0625 and hit enter. And now I've got 1/2 inch holes. And like I said, if I go to, well, I'm already in face. If I go back to offset, select these holes again, type in negative 0.0625. Now the holes are back to the original 5/8 diameter. And okay, so now we want to get rid of this 1/4 inch fillet radius and replace it with the 1/8 fillet radius. So I'm going to go back into face and delete. I'm going to click on the fillet and hit enter, and now it's gone. So now I can go into the fillet command, and for the radius, I want 0.125. Click on the edge, hit enter, and enter again. And now I've got a 1/8 radius. You can also get rid of holes too if you have one that you don't need anymore or whatever. Let's go back into the SOLIDEDIT command, face, delete, click inside the hole, hit enter, and now the hole's gone. So let me undo out of that and move on to the next model. For the second model, the bolt hole pattern is not correct. And if I switch to my X-ray visual style, you can see I've drawn these construction lines. This circle is where the bolt hole pattern should be. So I need all of these holes to move out to the endpoints of these lines. So I'm going to stay in the X-ray mode for this one. And I'll get into the SOLIDEDIT command, face, and move. Then I'll click inside the hole to select it, hit enter, and for the base point, I want it to be the center point at the bottom of this hole. Make sure you have your object snaps enabled for this. Hover over this bottom edge to get the center point. Click on that, and for the second point, you want to go to the end point of the line, and that'll move the hole. So now I'm just going to go around and do this for all the rest of them. That's it. I'll switch back to realistic and move on to the next model. For this third model, I want to rotate this slot 45 degrees. But before I do that, I need to draw a line here at the center of the slot from midpoint to midpoint that I can use for my axis of rotation. So now I'll get into the SOLIDEDIT command, go to Face, Rotate, and I'm going to select all the faces inside the slot. I'm going to hit Enter. For the axis point, I'm going to pick the midpoint of this line. And for the second point, I'm just going to drag straight up and click up here somewhere. But make sure you have ortho mode enabled to make sure that you're dragging straight up. And just click up here. And for the rotation angle, I'm going to do 45 degrees. And that's it. Now I can delete this line and move on to the final model. For this one, I've removed a section through the middle of the sphere, but I want to hollow it out, and I want to separate the two halves so I can put them on different layers. So I'm going to go into the SOLIDEDIT command. This time I'm going to go down to Body and Shell, and I'll select the sphere, and now it's asking me to remove faces. So I'm going to click on these internal flat faces to get rid of those, hit Enter, and for the shell offset distance, I'm going to do 0.125. And now I've got this hollowed out shell, but it's still one object. So I'm going to go back into SOLIDEDIT, go back to Body, Separate Solids, and just click on it, hit Enter and Enter again, and now I've got two separate objects. Okay, that's about all I wanted to cover in this video. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and post them below. And as always, if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.